everyone, Neve here, and it is very cold today. It's kind of rainy and overcast, so I'm just using the light um, from my art room here, so it's not as nice as it would normally look because it's very overcast. But anyway, so today I am going over my four MJ Cullinane decks and the bags that I made for them. So, all right, so let's get started. I'm going to move some of these out of the way, and I think we're going to start with this one, which is my. Let's open it up first. And in case you can't tell, it's got a crow, a Celtic crow on it, and it's got this red Celtic crows or ravens all around as the border. Very nice. And for the accent color, I used purple. We have purple in here. And this is, of course, the Crow Tarot. And I'll just show the cards a little bit. I love the backs of this deck. Yeah, so I've showed this lots and lots of times on this channel, but this is the deck that I use for on Morrigan, for communing with on Morrigan, and yeah, so it's the primary deck I use for. I do use other decks with her, but this one is specifically dedicated to on Morrigan, and yeah, so very very great deck. Awesome English there, but very great deck, yes. Yeah, my favorite card in this deck, let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Here it is. This is my favorite card of this deck. This is the Strength card, and I just really like this card. Not much else to really explain about it. I just, it was more aesthetically that I like this card. Oh, and I love the Hermit card too. This is a really good one. I think this is the main image on the box. And this is one of the few decks that I don't have in its box in the bag. Yeah, so I really like the ones with lions in this deck. I don't know why. Because I like this King of Wands too. Something about lions in this deck that I really like. Anyway, and I also like the Ace of Pentacles. All right, so that is this deck, and I keep the book with it in the bag. I used a red kind of it's not velvet, but it's kind of like a suede cloth, red suede cloth, and the inside actually came from pajamas that I cut up, old pajamas that I cut up. So yeah, the black in there. And this was one of my older style bags, because the newer styles I do much more of a I use the inside fabric to do kind of a lip around here, and that's where I use the put the ribbons through to tie. But this one I actually used the oh gosh, the ribbon. Yes, the ribbon for where they come out. I like it, but it's a little more difficult to do, I think. So I ended up switching to the different styles. So that is the Crow Tarot bag, and I use this deck for on Morrigan, and yeah. And I've had this one the longest amount of time. So the next one that I got was the Wise Dog Tarot, and this is the bag that I made for it. I'm going to pull out the box. So I do keep this one in its box. And this is the bag that I made for it. I did the embroidery, Celtic paw print embroidery. Now this deck, I am considering dedicating it to the god Lu. Same sort of deal with the Crow Tarot with on Morrigan. I am considering dedicating this deck to Lu. I'm still not sure, but I have been keeping it on his altar, just kind of getting the feel of it, you know. And the fabric I used on the inside and on the outside thing here is kind of this just general puppy print sort of thing. It's got dog bones and puppy treats and things like that. I really like this one. But you know, I really like dogs, and right now this is actually my only dog tarot, but I am expecting to get the Barcana tarot in, which I backed on Kickstarter. It used to be the major Barcana because I believe it was a majors only, and then the creator decided to create a whole deck out of it. And here's a book. So yeah, there's she created the major Barcana, and I believe she's donating like a portion of the costs to an organization. I forget. I'm terrible at this. I should have made notes and stuff before I started this video, but you know, whatever. So anyway, I do really like this deck. I don't know how I feel about the backs. They're okay. I like the backs of the Crow Tarot a lot more. I like this simple design, whereas this one feels a bit too, I don't know, busy, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, but I do really like this deck. Even the Devil card. There's just I called this deck my hug deck, I guess, in my 7 decks for Heavenly Virtues tag, because I just feel happy when I look at it. I really like this Queen of Pentacles. Really nice. I haven't done like a deep dive of this yet. I probably will very soon, because I need to know if this is my Lou deck. If this is my Lou deck, then, you know, I want to go through the process and, you know, do readings with Lou and see if he responds to this deck. Because if he doesn't respond to it, then, of course, I'm not going to dedicate this to him. But, yeah. Yeah, so, and I don't feel bad about, like, designating this deck to a specific thing, or, you know, deity, because I am going to be getting that Barcana Tarot, and that will probably be my general use dog deck, whereas this one I feel like has a specific purpose. I think this is my favorite card in this deck. I love this Ace of Pentacles. I think I just generally like the Ace of Pentacles in general. The Pentacle suit is my favorite suit, and in general, I think I've said general now like 5 times, but the 8 of Pentacles is my favorite card overall in tarot. I like this Hangman, but the Pentacle suit is definitely my favorite suit in general. Yeah. Anyway, so I really like this deck. I've only had it for like a month or so, and I've only done a few readings with it, but every reading I've done has been very, very positive, and I don't know, there's something about this deck that is just overall very positive, and I'm looking forward to doing that deep dive to see if this is indeed my Lou deck. Yeah, it just gives me that vibe. It gives me Lou vibes. And plus, the god Lou has a dog. So, I don't know. I find it easier to connect with the deities via animals. I don't know what it is. I just have an easier time connecting that way. All right, so, and now we're going to move on to the 2 newest decks that I have. MJ Cullinane decks, and the bags that I made for these. So this, I really like how this turned out. The lighting in here isn't doing it justice. I wish I had more natural lighting in here, but because it's so rainy and it's beyond overcast, because it's quite dark today. It's about 8:30 right now in the morning, maybe 8:45, and it feels like it's nighttime because it's really dark. But anyway, I'm going to pull out this deck. This is the Guardian of the Night Tarot by MJ Cullinane, and this is actually the independent version. The mass market version is still in pre-order on Amazon, and I was going to get this, but MJ Cullinane is having a massive sale on her site right now where you could get both this deck and the next deck I'm going to show for the price of one. So I basically got this deck for free because it was, you're paying for the next deck, and I'll just say what it is. It's the Grimalkin Tarot. You're paying for the Grimalkin Curious Cats Tarot, but you get Grimalkin plus Guardian of the Night, so it's 2 for 1. And I checked her website yesterday, and that sale is still going on. I can't promise that it's going to be still there when this video goes up, but I would definitely recommend checking out her site, because you may get the Guardian of the Night plus the Grimulkin Tarot for the price of just the Grimulkin, and I believe it was $44. And both of these are the independent versions, and she's doing this sale until supplies last. So I would get on it if you're interested. Anyway, so we'll go over the deck in a minute. This is the bag that I made for it. I went with the velour fabric, and this was actually the background fabric I'd been using in recent videos. Ooh, I have some jump stitches here I need to trim off. Right there. There's a jump stitch right there. I need to trim off. Anyway, yeah, I went with this like turquoisey fabric here, and this like busy print inside. I just thought it matched the energy of this deck very well, and I went with a gold edging and these tealy turquoisey ribbons for tying. And the embroidery, I went with butterflies and bees, and that was because there were a few cards in here. Here is the book for this. There were a few cards in here that I used as inspiration, and the backs actually match very nicely with the bag. Definitely used the back as inspiration here. Unlike the next deck, the backs actually match the bag. Anyway, so I'm probably going to pause this real quick and see if I can find the key cards that I used as inspiration for this bag. Okay, I found the cards that I used as major inspiration. I'm going to pull them out here. Yes, so I pulled out this peacock one. This is the 9 of Cups because I like the colors, and this deck does give me those energies, and you can see that kind of reflected here, I think. Then I pulled out this one, the Star, which it's gorgeous. This is a beautiful star card, probably one of my favorite star cards. And so I was looking at embroideries that had that stag sort of stag embroideries, and I liked a lot of them. But this one I was like, I don't think I'm going to go with stags. But what I ended up going with was these two as my primary inspiration. Basically bees. Bee energy, and this was the ultimate card that I used as my inspiration here, and I think I did a pretty good job. I found there were lots of different bee embroideries that I was considering, but I ended up going with this one because I like basically the mandala look here, and the butterflies with it. It just was really, really nice. This was a pain in the butt to embroider though, and I think one of these bees was like, oh my god, doing the bees, it just kept messing up, and I think it was this bee, maybe. It's hard to tell now, so you know, you don't even notice where it messed up, but yeah, but I noticed because I'm the one who did it. So, you know, we're always our own worst critics, you know. But yes, this was my primary inspiration card, and I think this card also does the 10 of Pentacles and the World. This World card is gorgeous, gosh. This 10 of Pentacles also gives that same sort of energy that's sort of mimicked here. Yeah, so those were my primary inspiration cards, and yeah, so I'm going to go through some of these images. So this deck is very much, I think it's about animals that are maybe active at night, because they're not necessarily nocturnal, because I mean, this is a cow. So maybe that's not even accurate as to what this deck is about. It's but it's like nighttime animals, not necessarily nocturnal, but maybe there's active at night. Yeah, and I am a big animal deck person. A lot of my tarot decks are animal based, and I think I just have an easier time connecting with those images versus with humans. That said, some of my favorite decks are human heavy. Like the Anna K Tarot is very human heavy, and so is the Book of Shadows So Below deck. Those two are my primary use decks for like everyday things. But and obviously neither one of those are animal decks. But in general, I really love animal decks, and I have no problem connecting with them. In some ways, I have an easier time connecting with the images and the information. Yeah. So I really, really like this deck, especially the colors. And I don't know if the mass market version is going to have the same colorway. I think it has different backs and a different border color. So I'm kind of glad that I got the independent version here. So yeah. Anyway, so very nice deck. Well, I like this Empress card, very pretty. Yeah. Anyway. All right, so I'm going to put these back. And the cardstock here, I really, really like. This is, so I can't quite shuffle it. And this is the same as the next deck. Can't quite shuffle it this way because I can, but it's like, I got to stretch my fingers. Oh, see, and I already dropped cards. I have such tiny hands. And, oh, God, I'm going to bend a card doing this. Yeah. Once I get it, I can shuffle it, and I can't really bridge it. But what I can do with this deck and the next deck, the Grimalkins, is I can actually side shuffle it. And this is something I've tried to do with other big decks before and have not been able to do. But because this cardstock is so nice and thin, and it's not linen, but it's got a slight texture to it that makes them slippery and smooth. Because they're thin and they've got that slight texture to it, they're super easy to side shuffle. So that is actually how I have decided that I will shuffle this deck, and the other deck is side shuffling, whereas I have not had this ability with other big decks. Anyway, so I'm going to put this back. All right. And this, of course, stays in its bag, or in its box in the bag. So I was actually very happy with how this bag turned out. The embroidery was such a pain in the butt, but I think it was worth it in the end. It does look like I have a few jump stitches that I forgot to snip, so I'll have to snip those. Anyway, so final deck is this one, and I just made this bag yesterday. In fact, and it kind of matches the background I chose for this, huh? Anyway, I just finished doing this bag yesterday, and because of that, I'm recording today, and it's Tuesday, and I'm going to record, edit, and upload all in the same day, because I try to separate those out a little bit so it's not as much work in one day, but because it took me a while to get around to this bag. Yeah, so this is, of course, the Grimalkins Curious Cats, and I use cards. I did not use the backs as inspiration, obviously, because this is very different. These do not match at all. But I used some of the cards in here as inspiration. Here's a book. And I'm going to pause and try to find the cards that I use as inspiration for the bag itself. All right, so I should have done this before this video, but like I don't prepare for anything. But anyway, so I found there are several cards that I use as inspiration, or that I was looking to for inspiration, because I feel like I really, really like this deck, and basically the entire Pentacle suit was my general inspiration for this. And this deck gives me a very sunny feeling. And because of that, I think I'm going to be really using this deck in the summer a lot. Not that I'm too big on seasonal decks, but anyway, so I started off with this one because there was an embroidery I saw that had basically cats with balls of yarn and knitting and things like that, and I am a knitter, so I was, thinking that I might actually use an embroidery that had a knitting aspect to it. And it also had, because this was the other card that I was kind of using to go along with it, the Six of Wands and the Four of Wands, because it had the laurels on it, and it also had a ball of yarn and a cat, and I almost went with that, but I decided not to, and I moved on from that. Here's the extra card. This was kind of just general kind of colors. I was thinking about lots of flowers and these orange tabbies and kind of this bluiness to it that I really liked. And then this one, the Ace of Cups here really exemplified that sun energy I was going for, and such a beautiful cat, both of these cats. And yeah, I really liked this. And then the sun, I was thinking about going with sunflowers, and there were also poppies in this one that I was considering going with one with poppies, and there was an embroidery that had this cat with poppies all around, but it was really showcasing the moon. The cat was kind of in front of the moon, and I guess I could have replaced that with a sun, but yeah, I didn't want to do that much work on that. And so I was thinking about sunflowers, and then it was like the entire Pentacles suit in this deck was exactly the kind of motif that I wanted to go for with this. And you know, the Queen of Pentacles here, very beautiful, all these flowers, another one, and I really like this Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles, as I said, is my favorite card in general for the tarot, but I actually love the Eight of Pentacles in this deck. So the Pentacle suit was really my primary inspiration, and so I found this embroidery and I actually already owned this embroidery, so I didn't have to buy one, thankfully. But it's basically just a cat made out of flowers. Flowers forming a cat, and I really like that, and I liked it with this dot background, especially since I used a polka dot background for the dog tarot. I was kind of wanting to use a polka dot fabric for the cat tarot as well. And then I found this cute yellow cat fabric for the inside, which I really liked and really fit well with what I was going for here, and the bright yellows. And then I was trying to find what ribbon to put around the edging here, and there's I went with the Tula Pink pack, and this is an Alice in Wonderland pack, and they had two colorways, this like sunny pink colors, the pinks and yellows and oranges. And let me pull out all the stuff that came in this pack. And I got this on Etsy, but you could also find this before the Etsy strike stuff. But you could also find this on Amazon. So I had, this is obviously what I use. This is the Cheshire Cat. And obviously it's really bright for this deck, and the backs don't match at all. But I really liked it, and it was kind of perfect for the feel I was going for this bag. But this pack also comes with the teacups for Alice in Wonderland, a general flowers and hearts, very pretty. This, which are the suits for playing cards, and I actually think I'm going to use this for Lenormand bags, because I think that would go very well for some Lenormand bags. And then the very obviously Alice in Wonderland ribbon here, which I am going to use. This is the other reason I went with this, so that this pack would be multi-use. I'm going to use this on the Wonderworld Tarot that I just backed on Kickstarter. I've been waiting for this to come out on Kickstarter. I do like Alice in Wonderland. I'm not like a super fan or anything, but I have been really wanting an Alice in Wonderland deck, and there's so many out there, and I've been tempted by a few, but none of them have really grabbed me the way the Wonderworld Tarot did. And I'm going to leave a link to their Kickstarter because it's still going on right now. It actually just started. It ends in, like, I think May 4th, something like that. Anyway, so definitely check out that Kickstarter, because, yeah, I'm enabling people here. Sorry. But yeah, it's cartoony. It kind of has that a sort of Nickelodeon feel to it, if that makes sense. Modern Nickelodeon cartoons. Not so much like the cartoons that I grew up with, but like modern Nickelodeon cartoons is kind of what this deck feels like to me. But yeah, I can't wait to use this for that bag that I'm going to make for it. Right, so that is the Grimalkin's Curious Cats Tarot with the bag that I made for it that does not match the backs, but it does match several of the cards, especially the Pentacles suit, I think. So I have been considering uh, dedicating this deck to a specific deity, but basically the deity that I most associate with the summer solstice, which is Anya, and I'm considering it. Cats have nothing to do with Anya. Like that's not in her lore. It's not something, but it's the sunny nature of this deck that really gave me that feeling. And I don't know what it is about MJ Cullinane's decks, but they seem to work very well for, at least for my purposes, for deity work. And it's not something I really intended. I mean, with the Crow Tarot, I did get that deck intending to use that with on Morrigan, and I have been happy with that. And I really think this Wise Dog Tarot gives me that Lou energy. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to dedicate this to Anya or not. It's a very summery deck that I like. Yeah, so very happy with the bag for it, even though it doesn't quite match the backs, but you know. Anyway, so I'm going to pull all these out again, and you can check them out. All right. I never put the Crow Tarot back in its bag. All right, let me tie this up. All right, so here we go. Here are my decks. So the Wise Dog Tarot, the Crow Tarot, the Grimalkin's Curious Cats, and the Guardian of the Night. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye!